Good morning, YouTube viewers and subscribers. So on my table today, I've got three very nice OS car slash truck engines. Now, some of these two and a handful of others, I actually got in a trade deal with a fellow, Jim, probably over a year ago. And to be quite honest with you, I forgot I even had this one here. And I've got some little labels here that tell the year that these came out to production or to the population according to the OS Engines timeline. This engine here is the OS Max 12 CV engine, and this dates back to 1995. And this is actually an engine I just got recently from an excellent friend, John. He had sent a couple engines. He actually found this one online and just purchased it for me and sent it to me. To me, if you know, I try and do my smell test on these car engines, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to work. I believe that all of these engines have been used at least once. I know this one has because it's got some residue there. But for the life of me, this 12 CV doesn't really look like it's been used at all. There's a little bit of dirt up in here, so that's what leads me to believe that maybe it was run a little bit. But the thing that's kind of interesting, I find curious about car engines, is you never really know what you're going to get with these when you buy them used. And I don't think I've ever bought one used. I've only traded for them, because you never know how these things were cared for. Now, this engine has excellent compression, and it looks like it's in overall great shape. Now, this next engine here is an OS Max 12 CVR. This one dates back to the year 2000. Now, I have an HSP on-road, 10 scale on-road car, and actually here's the shelf for it now. I've actually pulled it out the other day and I was running it with that Vertex engine in there, and it runs very well. And I believe that when I purchased that car, I got a couple of these back plates so that I could do a wand starter, and it just so happens it looks like I put the second back plate on this engine. But this engine came to me like this. It's got the back half of a flywheel and a pilot shaft, no clutch, but again, free. Everything, this needs to be tightened down, but everything seems to be free. Has really good compression, and I don't see any reason why this one wouldn't work. So yeah, I can see here's a little bit of some dinging here on the, or a little wallowing of the hole here. So this is a used engine for sure, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't run well. This final engine is an OS Max 18 CVR, which would be a great addition or drop-in for that T-Max engine, or for that TRS 2.5, I think it is. Again, this one is the one that shows the most evidence, external evidence of use, because it's kind of dirty and got some carbon buildup on it. Again, same type of deal, very good compression. I don't know if these had this top part of the anodization taken off when they were sold, or if this is what somebody's done to it. But you can see they all three of these have a rotating barrel carb as opposed to a slide carb. But this engine, I may just end up disassembling it and at least cleaning it up. The only real drawback to these car engines is that it's not really super easy just to run them and test them, because you can't just mount a prop to them and put them on the stand and go. They really pretty much have to be installed in a car, and if you've already got a car that's got an engine in there, it can be kind of a pain in the butt, because you got to maybe try and find mounts or find a pilot shaft. And if all the other components don't necessarily fit perfectly, which they should, but if they don't, then you're stuck with trying to, you know, cobble stuff together, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But at some point, I am going to put these into service on probably, I don't know if I'll throw this on the T-Max or not. These two will try and find some service in one of my, either this on-road car or my Red Cat buggy. But anyway, I thought I'd share with you that I do have some pretty damn nice car engines here. And this, you know, I don't know a whole lot about car engines. Even when I was big into them, I just bought packages, or I had a lot of HPI stuff. I don't think I ever purchased an OS car engine, new in box specifically for a project. I always had, the XTM or the HPI engine, or for T-Maxes I had the engines that came with them. Or I think I had a Phantom and a Serio engine before, but I just never, for whatever reason, never purchased the OS engines. But I am very happy to own these engines because they're really nice specimens, and of course everybody knows that OS engines are probably some of the best airplane engines anyway, and I don't understand why that wouldn't translate into them being excellent car engines also. So this has been kind of a quick look at 3 of the really nice OS car engines that I've got, spanning from '95 to 2003.